Yes! I forgot! Our Star Destroyer needs fighters. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the TIE Stinger. Yes, yes. This is our very own TIE fighter for our very own variation of the Star Destroyer. Now, the design that I went for is kind of... I forget the name of it. It's been... I first saw it as a fan ship. It was a Lego ship. I think it's called the TIE Dagger. And then E.C. Henry... If you know that YouTube channel, if you don't know who that YouTube channel is, you're living under a rock. He designed his very own atmospheric TIE fighter, which had these triangular wings. And so I also got my inspiration from that. And I feel like with the blocks and space engineers, it was very, very easy to kind of replicate the dagger-like design. However, I didn't want to make it exactly the same. For instance, this, as you can tell, this fighter has a lot more thrust than your average TIE fighter to give it more speed. It's a little more bulky. Doesn't have any shield, so it is still as flimsy as any other TIE fighter, but it makes up for it with the firepower. And what I have put in place is decoys, and I keep getting this wrong with a lot of my fighters. On my Chonk fighter, someone commented on the Steam Workshop about where I placed my decoys, and he said that they were kind of pointless because they weren't exactly at the front of the ship. But my idea of the strike fighter was that if the decoys were on the sides, like where the wings were, you would do a flyby and kind of have your wing angled first, and all you would have to do is kind of pivot your fighter towards after the ship starts targeting your decoy, and then you can attack. But I mean, I am more than happy to make a redo, have a redesign of our Chonk fighter, because I like that design. But we can definitely improve on it. There's always room for improvement. So like most of my fighters, I usually have the Vulcan guns for that extra awesome fire rate that just completely obliterates any other fighter. However, it does, I think, reduce the accuracy. As you can kind of see in that little short clip, the TIE fighter kind of like shot at the ship and his bullets were going everywhere. But these two MK battery cannons, those are meant for taking out, they can take out fighters if you're accurate enough, or capital ships or whatever. They've got enough power and heavy power. And then the main weapon on this TIE Stinger, and what gives it its name, is these very nicely placed and tucked away. Oh, you can look all the way down. Access that. These rail cannons, and what I use these as is like this fighter should be an all-purpose fighter. It can attack fighters. It can go against ships. It can be a sniper. It can hide in the shadows behind an asteroid and continuously just barrage enemy ships with these large rail cannons. We also have a camera on top for better aiming and accuracy. I tried fitting it inside the cab, but I only had two kind of blocks to work with. I'd have to push back this cab a little bit more, and then I would have had to push this oxygen generator back, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to do all that work. So I just like said fuck it, and I placed it right here. Also, which I totally messed up on, and I can fairly easily fix it, is that my cockpit is not aligned with this middle bar, which is what I was planning to do. So when you actually fly it, you have like the top part kind of in your way. But that's fine, because most of the times in fighters anyways, you kind of fly third person. You might get a better view. And the best thing that I love, and I'm so happy I have this mod, and thank you all so much for recommending it for me, is the VSI thruster mod. I can turn off some of the directional thrust to make it look like kind of like a Star Wars fighter, where there's you can only see the engines like from like the back, like the forward thrust, and then every other like kind of engine is just kind of turned off, or it looks like it's turned off. But I as you can tell, if I go like this, I'm moving left right now, then I can strafe right, and the ship still moves perfectly fine. And then I went with these like So it's like a red glow, but then as you activate it and start moving, it starts turning this orangey red. And I think that's super Sith-like. Like this ship should have been in the new Star Wars episode or a new Star Wars movie. Like, look at that. Oh, because it's got that blue Imperial color, which is my favorite coloration of the TIE fighters, is the Imperial version, where they're kind of like a navy blue. But as you can tell, look at that. Like, it just, oh, it contrasts so well. And obviously in the Star Destroyer, I did do a little bit of an update. Get inside. So now we have these arms that kind of stick out, and you can land. So you can land your TIE fighter on these like little kind of like, well, railings essentially, and then you can look up and you can get inside. Now, it may bug some of you that it's not pressurized or you don't get any O2 in the TIE fighter, but if you know anything about Star Wars, typically the regular TIE fighter, just the, common variant, TIE pilots had to wear oxygen-filled helmets and suits so that they could breathe inside their TIE fighters, because they weren't actually vacuum sealed away or out, vacuum sealed from space. Essentially, you needed a helmet to breathe inside the spaceship. So that's kind of the same concept and design that I went with. And if you need to, technically you could turn around and fill up your oxygen bottles in this O2 generator. I think you can do that. Right? No, you need an O2 tank or something? Either way. Something I would change probably would be add some, which I totally could in the wings, just like around this area, is have hydrogen tanks just to store a little more fuel. But I mean, other than that, I am like super happy with the design. It looks great. It flies amazing. As well, inside our Star Destroyer, I want to just kind of quickly show you guys. A lot of people said I should have made this room into a gun range. Instead, I just thought, I'll just go with a cafeteria. This ship's so large, the gravity doesn't even come out here. I have to fix that. But yeah, this would be where the CAF droids would be serving up meals for all the stormtroopers and pilots, or whatever legion that you have on the ship. And all you have to do is, make your way down this very long and large hallway. I just wanted a large hallway because I think it looks really cool. I added some signs inside the Star Destroyer so that you know where you're going now. So like if you go through here, upper deck, come into here, it's the armory, which there's nothing. I was just going to put some lockers in there for like pilots before they get into their fighters. Maybe grab some pistol and ammo and, well, suit up and get ready to for flight. Then when we come up, we're greeted with it's like the third floor, basically, or third flight of stairs. You can come into this area, and this is where the control station is for both hangar bays, as well as these yellow doors. And those yellow doors in the Star Destroyer mean they're airlocks. So if you go through here, there's another one, and then you have to step inside, close it, make sure that the air doesn't get sucked out. And the same as back here, which leads to the reactor room, which I'm pretty sure I've shown you guys before. Classic Star Wars fashion, no railings, no guards on the walkways, so if you fall off, you fall off. I like this kind of dark glow, but then you can come back into the back here, and then you're greeted into the large engine room, as we all know. Then if we come back to the stairs, we can make our way all the way up to the and then we get to this room, which is just tells you what is through this door, which is the living quarters and the bridge eventually. So as we come in here, they're all along here. There are the little rooms, and everyone has their own. Every pilot, every person on the ship has their own individual room. They have their own bathroom, own locker room, and own bed. So I mean, honestly, in a server scenario, you could have all individual people having their own rooms with their own private gear, and you don't have to interfere with it. And then over here is the med bay with only one cryo chamber and some CAT scans over here. No purpose, just kind of cool. And then if we come up these stairs, we have the flight deck, which the flight deck is just a tucked away small area. So if I sit in here, this is where you fly the ship. There's an octuple barbette turbo laser right there. But if I press V and I kind of zoom in, I'm right in there, that little tucked away area. And then to the command bridge, the most amazing part of the ship. If you step on here, it's just a very, very simple elevator, a little shaky, but it will bring you all the way up. Then you can walk off and you can call the elevator, so you can go like this, and there's another one down there as well. But if this is down here and you don't want to drop, just call it and it will come back up for you. Then we get into this area of the bridge. If we open these doors, right to the shield generator area. Nothing too special, just a cluster of shield generators. We climb up here, we've got 2 seats to occasionally man the guns. And then we have this very imperialistic, ignore this little hiccup, but we have all of these control stations on the bottom, and then right here is where the Lord or the Emperor or the commander of the ship would stand and have all of his crew ask him what they want them to do. Something cool like that. I'm sure you guys can imagine. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And stay tuned for more Space Engineers content. For Honor content coming out soon. I hope you're excited for that. Check it out if you, even if you're not really interested in. Might be funny. Might be a little different. Minecraft also coming out. Check out my Minecraft videos. They're pretty good. I think they're pretty fun. So don't be afraid to check that out. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for spreading the word of Chonkers. We're gaining subscribers and losing them at the same time. We're kind of in the middle ground. Come on, guys. If you want that Discord server, spread the word. The Chonk Army needs to grow. All jokes aside, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching, viewing, liking, sharing. It means so much to me, and I can't wait to see this channel grow with all of you in it. And as always, stay safe, stay awesome, stay cool, stay chonk. Your Lord Chonkers out.